Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. This is your Manchester United versus Watford preview. It's at Old Trafford, it's a 3 o'clock kick-off and it's this Saturday. I do know quite a lot of players that Watford have got. Watford's best player is Emmanuel Dennis. They've got Ismaila Sarr. Ismaila Sarr is injury prone. Joshua King, I think he's got an injury. Don't forget, Joshua King used to be at Manchester United. You know, he was in our academy. They have Juan Hernandez. They've got Joao Pedro, Ashley Fletcher, Tom Cleverley. Tom Cleverley is a former Manchester United player. Dan Gosling, they've got him. Don't forget, Dan Gosling is a former Everton player. They've got Danny Rose. Danny Rose is a former Tottenham player. Sissoko, he's also a former Tottenham player. Craig Cathcart, he's a defender. The goalkeepers Watford have got, they've got Ben Foster. You know, Ben Foster is a former Manchester United goalkeeper. They have Daniel Barkman, Robert Elliott, and they've got another goalkeeper as well. Let me put into the equation that Watford lost Troy Deeney. Troy Deeney went to Birmingham from Watford. They lost Decore. Decore went to Everton from Watford, and they also lost Craig Dawson. He went to West Ham. So there you go. Roy Hodgson is the Watford manager. Watford appointed him in last month to replace Claudio Ranieri. Claudio Ranieri got sacked earlier on this season. Before Claudio Ranieri, Watford had Cisco. Watford sacked him. Roy Hodgson, he left Crystal Palace at the end of last season. Watford, I'm expecting them to get relegated this season. Watford are 19th in the Premier League. They recently lost 4-1 to Crystal Palace. Watford beat Manchester United 4-1 earlier on this season, and that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's final game in charge as Manchester United manager. Manchester United are coming into this game on the back of a 1-1 draw against Atletico Madrid. The goals against Atletico Madrid. What? What?
Seeing these fuckers here? I wanted a pair for myself, right? But they haven't got my fucking size. Look at them.
Yeah.
They're 70 quid. They're selling them for 30.
Yeah.
They've got your size.
Yeah.
Do you want them?
No.
But they haven't got any other sizes.
I'm
They've all sold out.
No. I'm alright.
What's a 70 quid? There's out of 30.
I'm
£10 a month.
I'm alright.
There's a tenner a month.
Yeah.
It's only a tenner a month.
I'm alright.
You're saving 40 quid, Charlie.
I'm alright.
The better than trainers you've got.
I'm alright.
Look at the sole on them.
I'm alright.
Look how fucking good they are, look.
I'm alright.
Well, it's up to you. If you don't want to save 40 fucking quid on a pair of 70 quid trainers, I'd have got them myself if they've had a size 10.
Sorry, so as I was saying, so yeah, the goals against Atletico Madrid, obviously Anthony Elanga scored a late equaliser for Manchester United. Rangnick said Anthony Elanga was close to leaving Manchester United. I heard that he could have gone to Man City on loan. Anthony Elanga also scored in the 4-2 win against Leeds. Atletico Madrid's goal came from Joao Felix. Manchester United have the advantage going into the second leg against Atletico Madrid at Old Trafford. Manchester United won the last league game against Leeds 4-2. We've won our last 2 league games in a row. So I am confident Manchester United will beat Watford. Edison Cavani, he's out with injury. He's the only major injury Manchester United have got. I think Scott McTominay's got illness. Obviously McTominay didn't play any part against Atletico Madrid. Tom Eaton's been out with injury, but he doesn't really get in the team. Tom Eaton is our third choice goalkeeper. And Chong's recently been out with injury. So there you go. There's a very good chance that Manchester United will finish in the top 4 this season. Ralph Rangnick, he wants the Manchester United job on a permanent basis. Rangnick is Manchester United's interim manager. He's been Manchester United's interim manager for around 3 months. He's Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then it said he's expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. I've got a lot of respect for Rangnick. You know, he's a very good coach, and the vast majority of German coaches are very good. Rangnick's managed around 16 games so far as Man United's interim manager in all competitions. He's only lost 2 games in all competitions so far. And he's only lost 1 game in the Premier League. So I reckon Rangnick's done a good job. Well, Rio Ferdinand reckons he's done a good job. Rangnick has tried a few different formations since he came in. Obviously he started off with the 4-2-2 formation, then he went with the 4-3-3 formation, and recently he's gone a lot with that 4-2-3-1 formation. Rangnick unfortunately did not get backed in the January transfer window, and he actually got promised as well that he was going to be backed in the January transfer window. Rangnick's enjoyed 1 transfer window so far as Manchester United's interim manager. And Man United enjoyed a very disappointing January transfer window because Manchester United did not make any signings last month. We should have let Lingard and Henderson leave last month, but Manchester United blocked their exits. And we had the incident with Mason Greenwood towards the end of last month. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. And credit to him as well, because earlier on this season, Rangnick recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. As you all know, Rangnick and Richard Arnold want Erik ten Hag to become Manchester United's next manager. Well, there's a lot of Manchester United fans that would like to see Erik ten Hag get recommended in. I think if Erik ten Hag became Man United's next manager, he would suit the strappings of the club and he would be capable of winning trophies. You've got to admire the work Erik ten Hag has done at Ajax. You know, he's developed the young players well. He's won a couple of trophies with them. Revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. So there you go, and he's been Ajax manager for over 4 years. His contract at Ajax expires next year. Before Ajax, he managed Utrecht. Before then, he managed Bayern Munich's reserves, and before then, he managed Go Ahead Eagles. You know the news on Mauricio Pochettino. Pochettino to Man United could be in doubt because it recently said that Manchester United face a battle with Real Madrid to land Mauricio Pochettino. Real Madrid want Mauricio Pochettino to replace Carlo Ancelotti, as Real Madrid are unhappy with Carlo Ancelotti. Revert back to when Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho. Manchester United should have got Pochettino then. But the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. Pochettino's been the PSG manager for over a year. His contract at PSG expires next year. I think he's won a French Cup with PSG. Pochettino is a good manager, even though he's hardly won anything. He's proven in the Premier League, because before Pochettino endured a 5.5-year managerial tenure with Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his managerial tenure at Tottenham, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. Back in 2018, though, Pochettino got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. At one point, he almost won the league when he was Tottenham manager. Tottenham made a bad mistake sacking him at the time. And before Tottenham, he managed Southampton. He only enjoyed a short managerial tenure with Southampton, but still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So they're the clubs he's managed in the Premier League so far. Graham Potter, he was recently on Manchester United's shortlist. Graham Potter is the Brighton manager. And Luis Enrique has been mentioned. Enrique is the head coach of the Spain national team. Manchester United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. Man United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson, even though Man United are not really known as a sacking football club. So the managers we sacked since Ferguson, we sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Then we sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy 1 good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. The 3 trophies he won was the Europa League, the EFL Cup and the Community Shield. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board and bad disputes with the top players. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. Don't forget, when Solskjaer officially got sacked, he gave a farewell interview and he got emotional in that farewell interview, which of course was understandable because he is a legend of the club, always will be. And he was part of the club for a long time. Like I say, no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club, and that's something we've all got to accept. You know, Alex Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. Alex Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away because Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Alex Ferguson was at Manchester United for around 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. Ferguson retired 9 years ago. The only mistake Ferguson made was recommending David Moyes in when he retired, but the reasons he did that is because they're both Scottish, and at that time Ferguson had a lot of time for Moyes. In the last 10 years, Manchester United have only won 4 trophies. And we've spent over 1.3 billion in the last 10 years. We've recouped nearly 400 million in sales. We've got to get the Glazers out. They've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 16.5 years. The Glazers bought Manchester United for 500 million back in 2005. Revert back to April of last year, Man United fans were protesting against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground and at Old Trafford because the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League, but in the end the Glazers ended up apologising. Manchester United have brought over 40 players in now since Ferguson retired, and let me put into the equation, none of this squad is Rangnick. You know, Rangnick is inheriting players who other managers have brought in. Richard Arnold, he's Manchester United's chief executive. He got appointed in at the beginning of this month. He replaced Ed Woodward, and it was good news from a Manchester United perspective that Ed Woodward stepped down because Woodward was one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Ed Woodward was at Manchester United for around 17 years. In the summer of this year, I am expecting Manchester United to make signings. Man United will want to sign a midfielder in the summer because when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. On the other side of things, I'm expecting a lot of players to depart the club in the summer. So in the summer, I reckon Dean Henderson will leave. Dean Henderson should have left last month, but like I said, Man United blocked his exit. Henderson is our second choice goalkeeper. Doesn't get in goal much now because revert back to last summer, De Gea reclaimed that #1 spot back. Henderson has only made 3 appearances this season. Not so long ago, Henderson got arrested for abusing his girlfriend. Towards the end of last season, Henderson got that #1 jersey, didn't he? And to be fair, he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Henderson's got that experience behind him because before he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield, and he had other loan spells before with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. Henderson's under contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. Man United could look to sell Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka in the summer. Harry Maguire's not good enough to represent the club. Maguire weren't good against Atletico recently. You know, he was at fault for Atletico's goal, and he gave the ball away too many times. But he's done well in his last 2 league games, to be fair. You know, Maguire did well against Leeds last weekend. You know, he scored a very good header from a corner. It was the first goal Manchester United had scored from a corner this season. And he did well in the 2-0 win against Brighton. But Maguire having a couple of good games is not going to change my perception on him. Earlier on this season, there was a lot of Manchester United fans demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Maguire. But Rangnick's already said that Maguire will remain Manchester United's captain until the end of the season. Man United overpaid for Maguire, got him for 80 million, so he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. Maguire's been at Man United over 2 years now. And as for Wan-Bissaka, he doesn't get in the team much now, does he? There again, though, he came on against Atletico. Obviously, Lindelof started at right back against Atletico. You know, Lindelof was in an unfamiliar role because Lindelof predominantly is a centre-back. Revert back to Bissaka. You know, Bissaka did start against Leeds last weekend, and to be fair, he did well. Defensively, Bissaka's good, but the attacking side of his game lets him down. Manchester United got Bissaka from Crystal Palace, got him back in the summer of 2019 for £50 million. Jones and Bailly, I reckon they'll leave Manchester United in the summer as well because they don't really get in the team. Matic, he'll leave Manchester United in the summer because he doesn't really get in the team. Well, he's not one of our first choice midfielders, is he? He's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. Matic recently came on against Atletico Madrid, and to his credit, he made an impact. Not so long ago, Matic had a shin injury. Matic is out of contract at Man United in the summer. Like I say, Man United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017, got him for 40 million. Paul Pogba, there's a good chance that he'll be leaving in the summer. Well, it said the other week that Pogba is open to Premier League offers if he leaves Manchester United this summer. There again, earlier on this season, it said Pogba would be open to staying at Man United beyond the end of his contract. Pogba's out of contract in the summer. Pogba was poor against Atletico recently. It's the first bad game he's had though since he recovered from injury. Pogba played very well in our last league game against Leeds. He was probably our best player against Leeds. Manchester United paid £89 million for Paul Pogba, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. He's played over 200 games since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. Jesse Lingard, he'll also leave Man United in the summer, like I mentioned earlier on in the video. He should have left last month. Last month it was Newcastle and West Ham that were battling it out to get Lingard on loan. He's out of contract to Man United in the summer, Lingard. He has been part of the club for a long time. He is no Power Academy in that, but he doesn't really get in the team. Lingard did come on against Atletico yesterday night. And Lingard surprisingly started against Leeds last weekend. Cristiano Ronaldo, he will leave Manchester United in the summer if they fail to finish in the top 4. Well, prior to the Leeds game, it said Manchester United will allow Cristiano Ronaldo to leave in the summer. Won't step in his way. Ronaldo played against Atletico yesterday night. I thought he was poor. Well, he didn't get any service, did he? Ronaldo weren't that good against Leeds last weekend. Obviously, he missed a sitter in the first half. He ended his goal drought against Brighton. He scored an amazing goal against Brighton. He should have had more than one goal against Brighton because he had some good headed chances. His overall performance against Brighton was very good. He said not so long ago that Ronaldo was set to become Man United's new captain to replace Harry Maguire, but that won't be happening this season. Since Ronaldo re-signed for Man United, he's scored 15 goals in all competitions. He's got over 800 goals in his career. And, you know, Man United re-signed Ronaldo last summer. Paid over 12 million up front. With add-ons, it risen up to like 20 million. Ronaldo's contract at Man United expires next year. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo is the highest earner at Man United at the moment. He's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Juan Mata will leave in the summer as well, and I'm expecting Edinson Cavani to leave, and I think Martial and Van der Beek will leave. At the moment, Van der Beek's on loan with Everton and Martial's out on loan with Sevilla. So anyway guys, on my next video, I'll be giving you my predictions for this game against Watford, you know, my score prediction and that, and you know, who I think's going to win. And then after that, I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for the game. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comment sites below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.